I want you to know one thing. Eric, we are coming for you. It is only a matter of time until we bring you to justice for committing this cowardly act.
Tonight, breaking news in Monroe County. Eric Frein has been captured.
The accused trooper killer has been on the run for 48 days.
Every so often, true evil rears its ugly head.
We have live team coverage as a community and law enforcement breathe a sigh of relief.
Now that a suspected state trooper killer on the FBI's most wanted list is in custody.
And of course, we're following that breaking news tonight out of Pike County. Accused trooper killer Eric Frein has indeed been captured.
That's right. A picture was taken just moments after he was taken into custody. Police say he was actually found walking across an airstrip to an empty hangar in that area. This is video just into our CBS 21 newsroom. It appears you can see state police bringing Frein out of the police car there. This is at the Blooming Grove Barracks. Ironically, this is the very place he allegedly shot and killed Corporal Brian Dixon 48 days ago tomorrow. And we have team coverage tonight in Pike County, live team coverage. We're expecting a news conference with police and Governor Corbett at any minute. But let's get a check-in first about what's happened tonight with CBS 21's Kyle Rogers live for us in Pike County tonight. Kyle.
Well, Rob and Sonia, first let me tell you that people up here in northeastern Pennsylvania, from state troopers to those who live here, breathing a big sigh of relief after this news came down today that Eric Frein has been captured. He is alive. The 31-year-old man has been described as a survivalist. He's been able to elude police now going on 7 weeks. And today, state police tell us that Eric Frein is captured. Sources tell us that this was a big effort by U.S. Marshals, and they found him not far from where state police have been searching for the last 6 weeks. We are going on day 48 of this manhunt, and that has finally come to an end tonight. We understand right now that the Pike County District Attorney is working on the arraignment process as we speak, working out the logistics, and that this will be a public arraignment. At this point, we don't know when that will be happening, but we are expecting a news conference with Governor Corbett any second now. We're here at the Pike County Communications Training Center, and this is the same place where police first identified Eric Frein as the suspect in this deadly ambush against state police. But again, the big news tonight, Eric Frein captured, and we'll be getting more details about what exactly went down from state police any minute now. We'll send it back to you.
Kyle, this manhunt's 48 days, as you mentioned. We've been staying on top of it here at CBS 21 News the whole time. I understand tonight they actually moved the place where the news conference will be held. Is that because more and more media showed up and more people?
I have to tell you, there's a lot of media here, national, and then some from New York, Philadelphia, all converging here into this small area here in northeastern Pennsylvania. The original staging area was at the Blooming Grove Township building. That's where they've been having press conferences this entire time, and I gotta tell you, it's a very small room, practically closet size. So they moved it up here to Pike County. We believe it was to accommodate all of the media here, but they're inside. They're setting up right now a big garage full of reporters, and we are eagerly awaiting more details about what went down tonight.
All right, Kyle, you've been up there ever since this search started. How has the mood changed? Is it pretty noticeable as you drive through the town and just see the people out there?
Absolutely. You know, on my way here, because I've become friends with so many people up here in Canadensis, where Eric Frein lives and where most of the search was happening. I befriended this one guy named Joe. He owns a pizza shop there. I called him tonight. I'm like, Joe, how are you feeling tonight? He goes, Kyle, we are so relieved. He said that the TV was on in his pizza shop. There were people there, saw the news, they cheered. They are breathing a big sigh of relief tonight, knowing that Eric Frein, the man that has been on the run now for several weeks, considered armed and dangerous, is captured.
And Kyle, a small community up there. A lot of people actually knew Eric Frein. You know, I wonder what their reaction would be tonight.
You would think that they'd feel a sense of relief. I mean, these people have grown accustomed in the last several weeks now of state police helicopters flying up there, police cruisers just going through the roads, and thousands of state troopers from Pennsylvania, from New York, New Jersey, all in their backyards. It's a very quiet area, and in fact, that's the novelty of why so many people live up here in northeastern PA. But now, hopefully, they can be calm, be relaxed, knowing that Eric Frein is captured and he is alive.
All right, Kyle Rogers reporting live for us in Pike County. A big sigh of relief there, and Kyle will remain on the scene for us. We'll check it back in with you later, Kyle. Thanks.
All right, well, here's what we know about Frein. Law enforcement all along said he was targeting them, and the public was not in danger.
Police say he'd been plotting his attack on law enforcement for months. Investigators say Frein made statements about wanting to kill law enforcement.
All right, that news conference that we have been waiting for with Pennsylvania State Police and Governor Corbett is starting. Let's go ahead and take it live for you.
Okay. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight at 6 p.m., fugitive Eric Frein was captured. And now, as you know, he will face justice here in Pike County. We have stated that early on that we would not rest until his capture was made. And I am so pleased to be able to say that tonight we have made that major step that has to be taken down the path to justice. Due to the hard work of everybody that has been up here for the 7 weeks that this has been going on, all the different law enforcement officials who stand behind me and who they represent, the hundreds, if not thousands of people who have been involved, have been working very, very hard out there looking every day to see this day come. And when this day did come, as had been talked about from the day of the shooting, or the day after the shooting, he was placed under arrest and handcuffed with the handcuffs of Corporal Dixon, which I think is very appropriate. What's also should be noted, that while everybody was out there, nobody else got shot after that day. Trooper Douglas is doing much better. Our prayers are with him. Our prayers are with Mrs. Dixon and her 2 sons, and with Trooper Douglas's family. I can't tell you how much, on behalf of a grateful state, we want to thank all the partners who have been involved in this mission to capture this individual, and how much you have given your heart and your soul in the name of justice. I want to commend the great work of the Commissioner of the State Police, Frank Noonan, who has been in contact with me sometimes hourly as to the progress of this manhunt. Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, as you know, has been up here leading many of the conversations from the podiums, but together with the entire team, they have been working extremely hard, many, many long hours, days, and now weeks. The Pike County District Attorney, Raymond Tonkin, who's here with us, who now takes over in this prosecution, which is now going to be a prosecution, and all the federal and local law enforcement officers who have been involved in this also, and I know that the Commissioner is going to name all of those. And additionally, law enforcement agencies from around the country that participated, that volunteered to participate in this. But I particularly want to thank the residents of northeastern Pennsylvania, particularly the Pike and Monroe County areas, whose patience, whose tolerance, and whose perseverance have been a tremendous support and lift to all of the law enforcement personnel who have been working out there day and night on this mission. You demonstrate the very best of Pennsylvania. Just today, when I was in the western part of the state, I ran into a couple from here in Pike County who were on their way to a western county, and they talked about nothing more than what was happening here in their support for all of law enforcement and what they were doing during this period of time. The support of the community has been instrumental to all of law enforcement. And then finally, I want to stop here and turn it over to the Colonel, to the Commissioner, but again, to the family of Trooper Dixon, to the family of Trooper Douglas, and to Trooper Douglas. Let me assure you, from everybody here, justice will be served. Colonel?
Thank you all for coming. This is a great day for the Pennsylvania State Police and for all Pennsylvanians. And it's only appropriate that I bring up Lieutenant Colonel Bivens with me, who has been leading this entire operation and has just done a fantastic job. You see many people behind me from various law enforcement agencies, the FBI, the ATF, the United States Marshals, and the Border Patrol was here. We have the Barrett Township Police Chief with us, many municipal police officers, Scranton Police Department, too many to count. The state agencies from surrounding states, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Ohio, Connecticut, all of them have sent help and been part of this. It has truly been a team effort and a pleasure to work with so many great, dedicated people. And the one thing I'd just like to point out, because there were so many, several thousand people that took part in this manhunt, the reason this was so important is because Eric Frein was dedicated to killing law enforcement members. He had at least one sniper rifle that we knew of. We knew he had a handgun. We knew at the beginning that he had explosive charges with him. I can't think of a more dangerous occupation than going into the woods after this individual. And yet, my biggest problem was telling people I don't need any more help. And that's truly significant. Now, let me tell you how this arrest took place. About at 6 p.m. this evening, at the Birchwood Pocono Air Park in Pocono Township in Monroe County, we've been broken down into many, many teams, a lot of them SWAT teams, and been assigned areas in the woods at various locations to sweep and to search, and we've been doing it for over 40 days. It's a hot, tiring, dangerous job. Today, the United States Marshal Service had one of their teams out at the abandoned airport. When they approached it, they saw an individual that they thought was Eric Frein, and they ordered him to surrender, to get down on his knees and raise his hands, which is what he did. Once they approached him, he admitted his identity, and he was taken into custody. He was turned over to the Pennsylvania State Police. As the governor said, Corporal Dixon's handcuffs were placed on him, and he was put in Corporal Dixon's car and transported back and is currently in custody. There are other search warrants that we're trying to serve right now on some areas that we believe he may have been staying at. And the thing that I want to emphasize, the reason this took so long is that it's such a big wooded area that he was totally familiar with, that he had a lot of places to hide in. And we had to be very careful in how we searched it. We would plot out different areas. We have a lot of cameras in there, but it was the marshals going out there today, and we had a lot of other people out there searching other areas that came upon him, and that's why he's in custody today. I know that this has been a real trial for many of the community and for all of my people and the people that are standing behind me and the people that have helped us. But let me explain to you. Eric Frein had a mission, and that was to attack law enforcement. If he got out of those woods, we were very concerned that he would then kill other law enforcement, and if not them, civilians. That's why we had to keep the pressure on him. Now, when the governor talked about calling me, I'm not saying he was a pest, but I will say he would call me 4 or 5 times every day. And he always ended with the same question: what else do you need? How do we get this done? Is there anything else I can do? And that's been great. And I can tell you, too, that all of the federal agencies, I've talked to the heads of all of them that have been participating with us, they all said the same thing. What can we do to help? We're in this for the long haul. We're in this with you. And that really made a tremendous difference, I believe, in this case. We weren't going to stop until this fugitive was arrested. And I'm glad that it ended without any other loss of life, including his. This way the people will know exactly how our justice system works, and I know that you're going to follow it, and I hope that it brings some closure to the families that have been so seriously affected. I know many of you were at the funeral of Corporal Dixon, and I've had an opportunity to talk to his wife, Tiffany, and to Trooper Douglas, and assure them that we would not stop until he was apprehended. And it makes me very proud to say that today he's apprehended. Let me introduce, well, there's so many people here. The fella in the really nice suit is the United States Marshal, Marty Payne, a very good friend of mine. But the first one to speak will be ASAC Janelle Miller. If you will come forward.
All right, we will keep monitoring this news conference that's going on right now in Pike County. The governor and Commissioner Frank Noonan, the state police commissioner, have just wrapped up their comments on the capture of Eric Frein, the man wanted for shooting and killing Trooper Brian Dixon, Corporal Brian Dixon, and Trooper Douglas, Alex Douglas, who was wounded. The governor saying his condition is improving, but the governor also saying justice will be served.
Just some moments in that news conference that just gave you goosebumps. One in particular was the fact that both Governor Corbett and Commissioner Noonan said that when Eric Frein was captured, not only was he handcuffed with Trooper Dixon's handcuffs, but he was also put into Trooper Dixon's patrol car to be taken back to the very barracks that he was killed. So just some really emotional sound here.
Which shows from the start when they made that promise they were going to catch him. They were going to catch him.
Yes.
Here's how it went down. At 6 p.m., U.S. Marshals spotted him, a team of U.S. Marshals at an airfield, the Pocono airfield. They ordered him to surrender. He was indeed armed, and he was placed under arrest. They say without incident, but they did have to take him down, make sure he was unarmed. He admitted to his identity, and then again, as Tanya just said, he was handcuffed and placed in Corporal Dixon's car.
And Governor Corbett mentioned, the prayers are still with Trooper Douglas as he's recovering, and also Trooper Dixon's wife and 2 young sons. But as you mentioned, they made that promise that they were not going to stop until Eric Frein was captured. And now it's up to the justice system to do its job with the trial.
Governor being former Attorney General saying it's now in the hands of prosecutors to carry on with this case, and the Commissioner saying the investigation also continues to find out if anyone else is culpable in holding him during his run for 48 days from law enforcement.
It's going to be quite an intensive investigation. Again, this news conference just still going on actually in Pike County right now as to the capture of Eric Frein. There's a lot of questions to be answered, so we expect it to go on for quite some time this evening.
And we are monitoring that, but we're going to take one quick break. We're back with more on the capture of Eric Frein right after this.
You're watching CBS 21 News live at 11.
Once again, we continue to follow the capture of Eric Frein, the accused trooper killer in Pike County. A news conference just wrapping up with Governor Corbett and State Police Commissioner Frank Noonan. And
we have CBS 21's Donna Kirker-Morgan on the scene, as well as CBS 21's Kyle Rogers. They are still at that news conference, also getting the very latest information. We're going to have that for you. We're going to go back live to Pike County in just a moment. But first, we want to bring you Tom Russell with weather.
And now, CBS 21 News First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell.
And thanks, guys. We're wrapping up October, and some cold air is moving in right on schedule. Let's go ahead and show you your Friday as you start out. Some clouds and 40 degrees at 7 a.m. Noon time, still cloudy and 52 through the afternoon. We're only going to be in the low 50s. So another chilly day on the way tomorrow with lots of clouds around. There is your Halloween. Let's talk about where we stand right now. Mid and upper 40s depending on where you are. 44 in Carlisle, 45 in York. Same with Lebanon. So another cool night. State College is down to 40 at this hour. So you'll see more of those chilly temperatures as you look around. As you mentioned, State College at 40, 42 in Altoona. Pittsburgh checking in at 45, some 50s, but you got to get down towards Baltimore and D.C. And now we've got the cloud cover. If you look closer, you can see some of that grayish color. That's the real thin cloudiness that's been hanging out through the afternoon and evening, but the clouds will thicken up as we go through the day tomorrow as our next system approaches. So look at these 40s going all the way down deep into Virginia and beyond. 39 right now in Cincinnati, and this is going to be key because we're going to be monitoring 2 areas of low pressure. One's going to ride the coast here. The other one is our Clipper system. When we talk about these Clipper systems a lot when we get into the winter months because they tend to swing on through and give us a chance of maybe some wintry precipitation. So let's track this. Again, you'll see this storm system coming up the coast, and then watch this Clipper system, and not just the greens, that's rain, but notice mixed in there, see those blues? Cold enough to bring some snowfall, especially as it spins around and brings some snow into West Virginia, especially the upper elevations there. Now for us, this is Saturday morning at 8:30. I think we're going to see a couple of light rain showers, maybe a few snow showers mixed in, and then all of this energy that you see here is going to get transferred to the coast, and then this thing continues to ride. See that big spin right there? This is Sunday morning at 10 a.m., so we'll clear things out, get to some sunshine, but it's still going to be very windy and very cold, and that's the big story this weekend as we keep this wintry-like feel coming in through both days. So mostly cloudy, rather chilly tonight. We'll take it down to 40 for the low, and then lots of clouds again tomorrow. 54 for Halloween. Looking okay for Friday night football and the festivities you got going on tomorrow night, but Saturday that'll bring some rain and snow showers kind of here or there. 44 for the high Saturday. It's windy, it's cold, and by the way, this is the weekend where we fall back, so you gain that extra hour of sleep, but it is a cold weekend. You may not want to get up out of bed anyway. So windy and chilly this weekend. Then Monday we start to rebound, sunshine at 54. Tuesday, sunshine 58, back to 60 by Wednesday. Thursday, mostly cloudy and 61 degrees. So it's going to be quite a ride as we head on into the weekend. Maybe you're headed up to State College. Maryland coming to Beaver Stadium this weekend. It's a noontime kickoff. And again, guys, cloudy and windy. I don't think we get out of the 30s. It's going to be a very chilly game with, yes, a few snow flurries flying around from time to time. So that's the kind of chill we're talking about. So it's the end of October, and it feels like the beginning of winter as we get into the weekend. This is going to be quite the slap in the face, if you will, with the, ooh, here comes the cold.
Get the jackets ready.
Yep.
All right, Tom, thank you.
And you know, the weather has played a big role in the search for suspected trooper killer Eric Frein, who was captured tonight just after 6 p.m.
CBS 21's Kyle Rogers live in Pike County. News conference still going on. Kyle, that news conference slowly starting to wrap up, though.
It's starting to wrap up right now. All of us reporters asking a lot of questions, trying to get more details about what happened tonight. But State Police Commissioner Frank Noonan described it like this. He said around 6 o'clock tonight, a group of U.S. Marshals were near the Birchwood Air Park. Now, that's not too far from where police have been searching for several weeks now, trying to find Eric Frein. That is when an officer with them spotted what he thought was Eric Frein. Turned out that it was Eric Frein, ordered him to surrender. Eric Frein apparently revealed his identity to him, and that's when police took him into custody. We learned from Commissioner Noonan that they used Corporal Brian Dixon's handcuffs to put him in custody. Of course, that is the trooper Eric Frein is accused of killing in the Pike County at the Blooming Grove Police Barracks about 7 weeks ago tomorrow. They also took him away to be arraigned in custody in Corporal Brian Dixon's car. They said that they did not want to give up trying to find him because he had such a vendetta against law enforcement, against police, and there was so much pressure to find him so no others would be injured. But they described that the reason this took so long is because this is, of course, a very dense, rugged area, a lot of land that they say Eric Frein knew like the back of his hand. So they continued searching. Governor Corbett said today that justice will be served. Of course, after finding him today, he said that he's been speaking with the families of Trooper Brian Dixon and then Trooper Alex Douglas, who Frein is accused of shooting as well. He is alive in a rehab facility recovering from that shooting. But I want to let you listen in on what we heard tonight.
But again, to the family of Trooper Dixon, to the family of Trooper Douglas, and to Trooper Douglas, let me assure you from everybody here, justice will be served.
And of course, we learned that Eric Frein is in police custody of the Pike County District Attorney. He is inside the press conference. We heard from him about an hour ago. They were trying to figure out the logistics for his arraignment. They say that will be public. At this point, we don't know when that will be happening. But of course, this news conference still going on the capture of Eric Frein, day 48 of this manhunt. We'll send it back to you.
Kyle, we've talked a lot about the relief among the people who live up in that area who've endured 48 days of intense searching around their homes and everything. But from what you've been able to see, have you seen any change in how the law enforcement community is reacting to this, or are they just remaining stoic about it?
Well, I'll tell you what, obviously a lot of media converging here in northeastern PA, and the law enforcement, the state troopers who we have seen, big sense of relief. You know, so many of them aren't even from this area. A lot from our area have actually traveled up here, and I was talking to a couple of state troopers who guided us in here to park our satellite truck here at the Pike County Training Center, and you could just see the mood on their face, relieved, happy, knowing that the man that they've spent 7 weeks looking for has been captured.
All right, Kyle Rogers reporting live for us in Pike County. Kyle, thank you. Still monitoring that news conference right now. We're hearing from the Pike County District Attorney saying he will in fact seek the death penalty for Eric Frein.
Well, alleged trooper killer Eric Frein in police custody tonight.
Coming up, our coverage continues. What happened over the 48-day manhunt? We're going to take a look at the capture through the eyes of a former U.S. Marshal right here live on set next.
You're watching CBS 21 News live at 11 with Rob Hanrahan, Tanya Foster, Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell with First Warning Weather, and Jason Bristol with Sports.
The FBI's most wanted list shrank by one man tonight when U.S. Marshals captured the man wanted for killing a state trooper.
Yeah, it took nearly 2 months for authorities to find and capture Eric Frein.
CBS 21's Bryant Madrick live in our newsroom tonight with a look back on the manhunt for this suspected trooper killer. Bryant.
Well, good evening, Rob and Tanya. Eric Frein on the loose for 48 days, eluding law enforcement, state police, and other authorities, exhausting hours of manpower trying to find him. Tonight, we take a look back at how this entire search began. September 12th, shots are fired on 2 Pennsylvania state troopers during a shift change at the Blooming Grove State Police Barracks. The shooting kills Corporal Brian Dixon and wounds Trooper Alex Douglas.
This attack was an ambush. Our troopers were leaving the barracks and really had no chance to defend themselves.
September 14th, a local Crime Stopper group offers $20,000 for information that leads to an arrest. Meanwhile, Governor Tom Corbett warns residents to watch their surroundings.
Be vigilant out there, particularly in the area of northeastern Pennsylvania, and to be patient as the investigation is being conducted by the state police.
September 15th, the FBI gets involved, collecting evidence in the aftermath of the shooting ambush at the state police barracks. The reward increases to $75,000 for tips in the shooting. September 16th, state police release a profile of the suspect who they think may be holding a grudge against troopers.
This individual may have suffered some level of crisis in his life and may very well be unstable. This may be the catalyst for committing this crime.
Authorities say the gunman used a .308 caliber rifle to execute the crime and was able to slip away undetected during the chaos. State police officially identify the suspect as 31-year-old Eric Frein. In Frein's hometown of Canadensis, residents are scared.
A lot of people are staying inside. They're not really coming out that much because people are saying he's a survivalist, so he could be in the woods, could be over there. You never know.
October 8th, state police and the FBI believe Eric Frein could have a beard, maybe a mohawk, but authorities discover a journal they believe Eric Frein wrote. Friday, September 12th, got a shot around 11 and took it. He dropped. I was surprised at how quick. The note went on to say he was still and quiet after.
I can only describe Eric Frein's actions as pure evil.
October 30th, captured. After 48 days on the run, authorities find Eric Frein. State police have said that Frein had a hatred for law enforcement tonight. As you've already heard, they are happy that Frein is captured. Reporting live in the newsroom, Bryant Madrick, CBS 21 News.
All right, Bryant, thank you. Well, joining us now with insight into this type of search is State Representative Mike Regan, who served for 23 years with the U.S. Marshal Service, retired in 2011 as the U.S. Marshal for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. Mike, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Robin. Mike, the first thing I want to ask is, it was kind of startling, it was very emotional, as Tanya mentioned, when Commissioner Noonan referred to using Corporal Dixon's car, the slain trooper, and his handcuffs in the arrest.
Yeah.
Is that common, or is that?
I don't know that it's common, but it was, I think, very symbolic and a little bit of poetic justice, which I think was great. I liked it.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier when we were talking about the residents' response, and Commissioner Noonan talked about it, Governor Corbett talked about it as well, to the police presence there. It's been 48 days, and they've seen a lot of police and officials there in the town.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to a former colleague of mine the other day, and he was up there, assigned up there, and he said that he was struck by how kind the townsfolk were. They were constantly coming out saying, you know, can I give you something to eat or drink? You've been here a long time. Is there anything I can get you? He really appreciated it. And you think it could have gone the other way. You know, townsfolk could have been sick of seeing the law enforcement there all the time, but I was really happy to hear that.
And that brings up another thing that Commissioner Noonan brought up, which was that he had a hard time turning officers away, police officers, law enforcement, coming up there to volunteer to search. And this was a guy who Noonan keeps saying was after law enforcement, a very dangerous search, in fact, but yet the law enforcement community just completely came together.
Well, you know, when one of your own is slain, they're going to come out of the woodwork after you. And I think that every cop who does the job wanted to be there to help out. And you know, there's no more dangerous mission than that. A guy who already demonstrated he'll kill law enforcement. And I think everyone expected he would try to kill more. So yeah, it's not surprising, but it is a great thing.
It is. All right. Mike Regan, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We appreciate your insight on this.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, CBS 21's Donna Kirker-Morgan just stepped out of that news conference that we've been talking to with Mike Regan.
Yes, and she also talked to residents in the area about Frein finally being captured.
She joins us live now in Pike County tonight. Donna.
That press conference just ended minutes ago, and we learned a few more details about the arrest of Eric Frein at the Birchwood Airport, which is abandoned. They said that he was in pretty excellent condition, better condition they expected him to find him in. They also said they have a search warrant right now underway at that location, so they have not been able to tell us what they found there. They are now processing him, and he will be held at the Pike County Jail. They're working right now on how they will handle the process of his beginning arraignment process that probably will occur tomorrow. Now, in the meantime, this story broke, I would say, early this evening, just around the end of news time, so it was about 6:30. And at that point, people in Monroe County and also Pike County start getting the news. As we drove through Monroe County in Barrett Township, that was the center of this search area, and we stopped at a few places, a pizza place and also a bowling alley. And here are some of the comments of people. They were elated and relieved.
It's just elated. It's just so relieved that it's finally over and came to a peaceful end.
Came here, my brother owns this bowling alley, and he was like, "Damn, they got him." Like, he really feels like business has been slow because nobody wants to come around here because all the state police and Eric Frein is here.
And in the press conference today, we heard from one of the district attorneys from the counties, and they said that Halloween, a celebration for the kids here in these counties that was put off, has now been reinstated. So we'll have more details on that as well. So people here obviously relieved that this is finally over after 48 days. Reporting live in Pike County, Donna Kirker-Morgan, CBS 21 News.
For many in law enforcement, they've put off the grieving process until they caught this suspect. It was exactly 6 weeks ago, though, that Corporal Brian Dixon was laid to rest.
The trooper and Marine was also a husband of two, a husband and a father of two. Troopers from across the country showed up to pay their respects. The 38-year-old's best friend says there was only one word to describe him: impeccable. Corporal Dixon is now buried in his hometown of Dunsmore. Meantime, the injured trooper is still recovering tonight. We heard Governor Corbett talk a little bit about Trooper Alex Douglas. He was shot in the pelvis and critically injured in that ambush 48 days ago tomorrow. Douglas remained hospitalized until October 16th, and then he was discharged to a rehabilitation facility.
And because of the shooting, police in Monroe County will be adding more protection to the police barracks there. Authorities say the parking lot of Barrett Township Police Headquarters will now be getting a new security fence. It's going to cost $5,000, but the police chief says Frein is making their security a top priority.
It's always on the list of wanted items to actually do around the police department. When this occurred, obviously the priority has changed.
And again, we are staying on top of this. If you've just joined us, the breaking news tonight, suspected trooper killer Eric Frein has been captured.
We're learning new information by the minute tonight. A news conference just wrapping up in Pike County tonight. We have CBS 21's Kyle Rogers there, CBS 21's Donna Kirker-Morgan there. We have other crews on their way up there. We're going to cover it every step of the way here on the air, beginning on CBS 21 News this morning, starting at 5 o'clock. Also, up-to-the-minute information on CBS21.com, Facebook, and Twitter.
Stay with us. Sports is coming up next.
You're watching CBS 21 News live at 11. And now, CBS 21 Sports with Jason Bristol.
They may not be in a class by themselves, but whatever class they're in, there's not a lot of chairs. We are now deciding district champions in soccer. Gettysburg Fleetwood at Hershey playing for the boys' title in AA. Gettysburg on the move here. What a look. What a kick. Adam Yingling gets it to go. It's 1-0 Gettysburg. But Fleetwood ties it. Then Austin Young finding Hunter Zagorski in traffic. Zagorski in the net with 19 minutes to go. It's the game winner. Fleetwood takes it 2-1 at Hershey Park Stadium. It's Fleetwood's first title since 2009. Can the girls from Trinity get their title? Shamrock's early game against Tulpehocken. We are scoreless. Second overtime. Trinity in white. Shannon Schultz, the kick ahead. Ashley Rogliano fighting for the ball. Ashley will control it. Ashley has it. Boots it home. What a shot. Trinity, your champions in Class A, winning 1-0 with 2 minutes remaining. Here's how Ashley said she did it.
Savannah fed me the ball right through, and I had the open shot. I saw it, and I just took it, and it was this far from the post, but it was an awesome feeling. So now our goal is to go on to states and see what happens.
And that state tournament starts next Tuesday. Tulpehocken will be representing District 3 as well. Juniata girls playing for a title in District 6 on the field in Altoona with Somerset. Corner kick, Juniata, Josie Swartz with the header. Indians in front 5-2. 76th minute now, more Juniata. Elizabeth Ritzman on the doorstep. Knock, knock. Hat trick for her. Juniata, convincing win for a district championship. Your final is 6-2. Juniata, the #1 seed, winning the AA title. The IndyCars are coming back to Pocono and the Tricky Triangle, despite attendance there being less than stellar. Next year's race is now August 25th. And here's some testing video from 2 years ago, the return of open wheel racing at Pocono. Moving this Indy race from the July 4th weekend now could help ticket sales. And Kyle Martell is booking a trip to Florida. Kyle, Bill Martell Racing out of Lebanon, announcing they are now heading to Homestead in 2 weeks for the NASCAR Truck Series season finale. Revolutionizing the York City Ice Arena? Not quite, but the baseball team is now running the place for the city of York. The arena holds hockey, skating, and the York Capitals indoor football team, seen here. The city paying the Revs a management fee, but the team says it's less than what the old management company was getting. The city still keeping all the money from events. The Revs will take their cut from advertising and sponsorship deals, about 35%. The Revolution's job now is to make this place more visible and more profitable for the city of York. More on the capture of Eric Frein in minutes.
You're watching CBS 21 News live at 11.
All right, we're staying on top of this breaking news. Eric Frein, the suspected trooper killer, has been captured. He was taken into custody around 6 o'clock this evening near the search area, Pike County, Monroe County, that police have just been scouring now for 48 days.
He's the man accused of a sniper firing on 2 state troopers during a shift change at their barracks, killing Trooper Alex Douglas and wounding killing Corporal Brian Dixon, I should say, wounding Trooper Alex Douglas. And tonight they tell us that they actually used Brian Dixon's, the late trooper's, handcuffs and his car when they took him into custody.
And we had a news conference earlier this evening with Governor Corbett, Commissioner Noonan. We want to play a little bit here of what they had to say tonight.
But again, to the family of Trooper Dixon, to the family of Trooper Douglas and to Trooper Douglas. Let me assure you, from everybody here, justice will be served.
I can't think of a more dangerous occupation than going into the woods after this individual. And yet, my biggest problem was telling people I don't need any more help.
And the Pike County District Attorney saying tonight that he will in fact seek the death penalty.
We're staying on top of this situation. Frein has been captured. You can catch up with all the information regarding this on CBS 21 News this morning, which begins at 5 a.m. Of course, anytime at CBS21.com. We have people working around the clock there in our Facebook and Twitter accounts. And always you can count on us to stay on this breaking news as it continues to develop on all platforms.
And we have crews not only staying the night in Pike County tonight to get the very latest as we still head into the overnight hours, but also tomorrow morning we have more crews going up there. So we're going to certainly be on top of this. Also on CBS21.com, you can go to our website. You can see the entire news conference that happened earlier tonight. A lot of people spoke, including Governor Corbett and Commissioner Noonan, about not only the capture of Eric Frein, but what has been taking place for the past 48 days.
And we will keep putting web extras up on this as they come in. For Tanya Foster, I'm Rob Hanrahan. Thanks so much for watching CBS 21 News live at 11, our special edition here, the capture of Eric Frein. The Late Show with David Letterman joining us in progress right now.
Good night.